Singapore in 2025 is not just a city, not just a country, but a living blueprint of how a nation can succeed against all odds. And today on infoSphere, we ask a powerful question: how does Singapore keep winning year after year, even when global competition is tougher than ever? This tiny island with barely enough land to fit most world cities has somehow turned its limitations into its biggest strength. While larger countries fight political gridlock, economic slowdown, or social fragmentation, Singapore pushes forward with the precision of a well-designed machine. But the question is why? What is Singapore doing that other nations fail to understand? What is the formula that keeps this city-state ahead in technology, safety, quality of life, governance, and global influence? Singapore's rise is even more remarkable when you consider where it started. In 1965, the country had almost no resources, no oil, no farmlands, and barely any fresh water. Yet in 2025 it stands as one of the safest, cleanest, most advanced, and most stable countries on Earth. The world watches. Investors flock, tourists return again and again, and millions of people dream of living, working, or studying there. So what exactly keeps Singapore winning? Why is it so hard for other nations to replicate its model? And how does Singapore keep achieving results that feel almost impossible? This video breaks down the secrets behind Singapore's continued success. Each reason explained in deep detail, so you truly understand the power behind this extraordinary nation. Unbreakable governance model. Singapore's #1 strength in 2025 is its unbreakable governance model. Unlike many countries that spend years fighting political battles, Singapore focuses on delivering results fast. The government operates like a highly disciplined corporation, where performance, accountability, and long-term planning matter more than populist speeches. And this governance model is not based on luck. It is built on 5 core principles: meritocracy, long-term vision, low corruption, social stability, and proactive policy-making. Meritocracy ensures that leadership roles, whether in government, education, or management, are given to the most capable individuals, not the most popular. This gives Singapore a huge advantage, because when the brightest minds run critical institutions, problems get solved faster and smarter. Long-term vision means Singapore does not plan for the next election cycle, but instead plans for the next 20, 30, even 50 years. Every decision made today is designed to benefit future generations. Corruption is nearly non-existent. Transparency is a national value. When corruption stays below 1%, trust becomes the backbone of society. Citizens trust the system works. Businesses trust regulations are fair. Foreign investors trust money is safe. And this trust fuels growth that many nations envy. Social stability is another major factor. Singapore embraces diversity: Chinese, Malay, Indian, Eurasian communities living together with respect, harmony, and shared identity. This unity allows Singapore to avoid the social chaos or ethnic tensions that slow down many nations. Finally, Singapore is proactive, not reactive. When the world faces a new problem, pandemics, economic shocks, geopolitical shifts, Singapore does not wait. It anticipates, prepares, and positions itself to stay ahead. That is why Singapore keeps winning. Its governance model simply works. A future-ready economy. Singapore's economy in 2025 is a global powerhouse built on innovation, precision, and strategic diversification. While many countries rely heavily on 1 or 2 industries, Singapore intentionally built an economy that is shock-resistant. Finance, biomedical science, cybersecurity, aerospace, logistics, tourism, manufacturing, clean energy, and digital technology growing together like perfectly aligned gears in a machine. The financial sector alone attracts trillions of dollars because the world sees Singapore as one of the safest and most reliable places to store wealth. The country's ports, airports, and logistics systems operate with the efficiency of a global command center, moving millions of containers with near zero delays. Singapore also invests heavily in tech talent and digital infrastructure, making it a magnet for startups, multinational corporations, and AI laboratories. Education is another economic weapon. Singapore's schools are ranked among the top globally, and universities continuously produce world-class engineers, scientists, doctors, and leaders. Every student is trained not just for today's job market, but for the future one. And as artificial intelligence reshapes the global workforce, Singapore adapts faster than most nations. Another edge is stability. Investors want predictability, and Singapore offers exactly that. No sudden political changes, no unexpected regulations, no chaos, just consistency. And that attracts wealth from every corner of the world. In 2025, while many economies struggle with inflation and unemployment, Singapore continues to grow. And that stability is what keeps Singapore winning economic. Safety and social discipline. Singapore has one of the lowest crime rates on earth. And it's not an accident, it's a strategic national priority. Safety is the foundation of everything else. Tourism, investment, business, education, and quality of life. When a country is safe, families thrive, businesses expand, and talent chooses to stay. Singapore achieves this safety through strict laws, fast enforcement, and a culture of responsibility that is taught from childhood. In Singapore, rules are clear. You know what is allowed and what is not. Laws are enforced fairly and consistently, and police response is extremely fast. Surveillance systems, smart monitoring, AI-driven security, and community policing work together like a high-tech shield. But safety is not just about technology, it's about mindset. Singaporeans understand that discipline keeps the country clean, safe, and livable. That's why littering is rare, vandalism is almost non-existent, and public spaces remain spotless. That discipline also creates order. Public transport runs smoothly. Traffic flows with minimal chaos. Neighborhoods feel peaceful and organized. Tourists often say Singapore feels like the safest place they've ever visited. And in 2025, when many countries face rising crime, Singapore remains a global example of what a disciplined society can achieve. Safety is one of the main reasons professionals, families, and international students choose Singapore. It is a country where you can walk at night without fear, where children can play freely, and where businesses can operate without constant worry. And this safety is one of the biggest reasons Singapore keeps winning. Cleanliness, efficiency, and urban perfection. Singapore is famous for being clean, green, and perfectly organized. But cleanliness is not just about aesthetics. It reflects a national mindset of excellence. The city looks like it is polished every morning. Public parks feel like carefully designed art. Roads, buildings, and walkways appear groomed, maintained, and upgraded regularly. All of this happens because Singapore treats urban management like science. Precise, measured, and optimized. Efficiency is everywhere. Buses and trains arrive almost exactly on time. Digital systems reduce waiting time for everything. Immigration, payments, medical appointments, even government paperwork. Singapore uses smart city technology to track energy use, manage traffic, control temperatures, and monitor pollution. Urban perfection is the final layer. Gardens blend with skyscrapers in a way no other city has achieved. Marina Bay Sands, Gardens by the Bay, Jewel Changshi, and dozens of futuristic districts make Singapore feel like a city built in the future, and the government invests billions of dollars every year to maintain this standard. They understand that a beautiful city attracts talent, tourism, and investment. Cleanliness plus efficiency equals perfection, and this urban perfection is another reason Singapore keeps winning. Global trust, diplomacy, and neutrality. Singapore's final advantage is perhaps the most powerful. The world trusts Singapore. In a time when geopolitical tensions are rising, Singapore positions itself as a neutral, stable, and reliable partner. It maintains strong relationships with the United States, China, Europe, ASEAN, India, the Middle East, and Africa. Very few nations have this diplomatic balance. Most countries choose sides. Singapore builds bridges. Foreign companies choose Singapore because they know contracts are respected, laws are clear, and political drama is minimal. Global leaders trust Singaporean diplomats, negotiators, and institutions. International conferences, peace dialogues, and major global events are frequently hosted here because Singapore is a safe, neutral, and respected venue. Diplomacy is a silent force behind Singapore's success. When countries trust you, they invest in you, they trade with you, they partner with you, and in 2025, trust is the most valuable currency in geopolitics. Singapore has mastered it. So after everything we've explored, one truth becomes clear. Singapore keeps winning in 2025 because it refuses to settle for average. It never stops improving, it never stops planning, and it never stops believing that excellence must be intentional. From governance to economy, from safety to cleanliness, from diplomacy to urban design, Singapore is a masterpiece built through discipline, vision, and unity. If you learned something new today, hit the like button, subscribe to infoSphere, and turn on notifications so you never miss our deep dive videos on global success stories.